Hello, hello, and welcome back to Blunders. As per the norm, we're shaking it up like we do every week, just trying to get ourselves to learn some new things. We're going to be working on a scene over the course of the next 3 days. It's going to be a little boat floating on the ocean here, a little fishing rod, chair, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be a little bit of a fantasy scene. I'm working on a bit of a side project with it. So, yeah, we're just going to see where that takes us. You'll see here that I've upgraded to Blender 2.9. And, yeah, we're like ready to go. Let's put on some music and just start. Now, I say we're ready to go. Excuse me, I just ate. I'm not sure what we want to start with first. I think it's going to be best if we start with just the ocean. So let's do just the ocean first, and we'll kind of take it back from there. So let's start with a plane. Straight and simple. And I think I might want to animate like a modifier for this. Not sure. This will be our water. Actually, this is probably the last thing we should be doing. Let's not do the plane. Instead, let's focus on the ocean floor. Icosphere is probably going to be a little bit easier for us, and we'll do 5 instead of 6. It doesn't have to be crazy, crazy. But I'm going to need a big. Pretty big, and then squish it down. This is my preferred way to do like gradient sand, because sand likes to sort of spill off, right? So if you've watched my first little adventure into Blender, I started doing this exact same project. Didn't get very far. But what we're going to do right here is just take this bad boy. That's not the axis I wanted to tilt it on. There we go. And we're just going to try and center this line a little bit. So if I lower that below the water, it's sand. Right? And I can extend that out or do whatever I have to do to it. In fact, it might be best to do that. Our camera is going to be looking at this scene like this. So we don't really need anything below us. But yeah, I think we're good to go. Let's get started on this thing. I will call you Ocean Floor. So first things first, what are we doing? I think it's logical to start with the boat. There's no reason not to start with the boat, so let's just do that. Now the shape of the boat, that's really the hard part. I'm thinking I might do this the hard way. And really just like model out a cube here. All right. Let's think about this. What is a boat? A boat is shaped like this. I'm also theoretically not trying to use reference images just because of how fantasy this is going to end up being. That might bite me in the butt. We might regret it, and we can change tomorrow if we have to. Like, it is what it is. But I just really want to kind of experience this and see what we can do with it. Okay. I think we should do ourselves the favor of... do we want to mirror it? We should, shouldn't we? Yeah, let's mirror it. So I will grab this thing. We'll go into X-ray. We'll get out of this little cutting guy and get rid of some faces. There we go. And we'll mirror it on the y-axis, I believe. Yep, there we go, perfect. Let's see it. Perfect. It's not mirrored the way that I think I would like to mirror it, but it'll be fine. So now we can just start editing this bad boy. So we want it to be pretty curved. I'm going to start using proportional editing a lot more in my work. I mean, it didn't do nearly what I wanted it to do, so maybe proportional editing doesn't do very much. Okay, well anyway. I'm hoping that music isn't too loud for you. I have my settings adjusted in kind of a weird way. And I'm hoping it's going to be good, but you never know with these things. Now, if I take these... No, we definitely want to do this. That's the front of the boat. And then we'll just do little tiny angles while we go, and then we'll resurface. That music might actually be a little loud for me on my end, so we'll turn that down. Now let's think. What do we want to be doing here? We want a nice little scoop, and then we want to cut down into it. I'm probably going to end up using some sculpt mode here soon. But in the meantime, we'll just stick with this guy. Also, I don't think we need to have a pointed front. I'm thinking the back edge comes in a little bit. And now that I'm looking at it, I think this might be too long of a boat. Let's cut off these guys. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and move that back a little bit. And then theoretically, everything should join at the bottom. And it'll get like steeper and steeper the higher we go, right? So we'll do that. Merge at last, and we'll just keep doing that. And theoretically, this is our shape, and we'll go ahead and bevel out from here. And that should give us a lot to work with. This one's tricky. This one's actually very tricky. What if I do this? Right, and then theoretically we now have a flat front. Yeah. I actually like that a lot. So we'll just grab you, push you just a little bit forward. Perfect. Okay, cool. We'll inset faces last, I think. That's going to be troubling at the bare minimum. So we'll go ahead and grab all of these and give them some nice little bevels. Now, I could theoretically just use /B and get everything going. Oh, why did that not do what I wanted it to do? Hold on. Let's bevel just these guys and see what that does for us. What? Why? What on earth? This is not doing what I wanted it to do. Why not? Why do I always struggle with beveling? Oh, I see. Never mind. What am I doing? Theoretically, that should solve the problem. Man, this is not wanting to do what I wanted to do. We'll get rid of that. And then we'll bevel this. What on earth? Very troubling. Theoretically, we should be just cruising. But it just doesn't want to give. Why not? Strange. I'm not sure I really understand what's going on here. We'll start by doing what we know how to do. So I know I can bevel these curves. Theoretically, that should round out the top of this bad boy. And then we'll grab you and push you back. Proportional, of course. That didn't work at all. There we go. So, I mean, that worked relatively fine. Wonder why the other one didn't. How am I going to divide these faces from the underside? Is it because it's not connected? I bet that's exactly what it is. Okay, let's get rid of the mirror then. We'll go to object mode. We will apply the mirror. Go back to edit mode. Now let's try it. Now let's see what this does to us. We do not need these. Tell you what, we'll just restart. Can I control click? I can. Hey. Not bad. And that does exactly what I wanted it. Perfect. Cool. So that looks pretty good to me. We're going to do the first part of the fantasy here in a second. As soon as I can assure that this works correctly. I think I'm actually going to increase it and then make this higher. If I clamp overlap and go as high as I can, we should have a pretty good looking thing here. Yeah, worst case scenario, I can just like scale the boat up. I'm not too worried about this. This looks good. It's a good shape. It'll work. It'll do for our purposes. Okay, now the fantasy part. We're going to grab... Where do we want to do this? That'll be fine. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude 2 little bits here. I want to extrude... I kind of want to extrude along normals. I don't want to extrude straight. It doesn't matter. We're gonna solve this problem anyway. I'm gonna look at this from a very objective standpoint, and we're gonna add a circle so I can see what I'm working on. Okay, so that's gonna stay there. Perfect. We'll go back to the boat. And so what am I making? What is this? This to me... Oh man, I want to like mirror this, but this is going to be a little tough to do, isn't it? So the goal is to make a circle underneath this boat. And in my little thing that I'm working on, I'm going to have a creature paddle the boat through the water. So it'll look a little weird for sure. I'm going to probably try and make it a little bit more regal looking. Not sure yet. But we'll get there. So, I think we got to start by loop cutting this. Okay, yeah, got it. I understand how we're doing this. We're going to grab this, grab that. We're going to push them out. We're going to do the same thing. This time, we're going to shear them. Shearing might be the last thing that we do, actually. Or, no, I could just rotate them, right? Oh, this will be tough. I have given myself a hard task, haven't I? Different method. Different method altogether here. Let's grab this face. And we will rotate it by a certain angle. We'll rotate it by 50. It's gonna have to be more than that. 70. Sure. We're going to have to clean a lot of stuff up anyway. So negative 70. Are they aligned otherwise? They look pretty lined up to me. Is there an infinitely easier way that I should have done this? Almost certainly. Almost certainly, but I'm not concerned with that right now. Right now, we're going to do it the way that we think we should be doing it. And if I'm wrong, I'll learn a lesson. And I think I should be able to scale this pretty easily. So I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So now, if I try and loop cut it, pretty normal looking. So these guys can be scaled out. This guy can be scaled down. Nope, not what I wanted. Why is it doing that? All right. It also looks a little on the big side. Part of me wants to like disengage this, but I think a better way to do it is just to grab all of it. Like just grab all of this stuff. Nope, not up there. Just grab all of this and just as few sections as we can get it. Yep, that works. Kind of looks like the honeycomb from Banjo-Kazooie. We're gonna hit, I think it's Alt-H or Control-H. Nope, Shift-H. There we go. Cool. So we are just editing this for right now. Now let's see what sort of miserable thing we can do to this. We want to do that. Clamp overlap maximum. And put a whole bunch of segments to there. Hey, thank you. We are trying to make a weird boat that's going to be tugged by a creature. I can't show the boat right now. But there's a boat above this. We'll bring that back in just a second. In the meantime, I gotta figure out a way to make this thing a circle. I'm thinking we've done ourselves a real disservice. So tell you what I'm gonna do instead. We're gonna cancel this. Let's go back. I didn't want to do a join, but we're gonna save way more time if we join this together. So let's join a torus onto this. Come on. And we're back. So we are going to make a torus. We gotta flip it. That's the big thing. It's the y-axis. I can scale it. Oh, actually, no, I can't. I think I learned F3. Nope. Never mind. We'll do undo and we'll redo the torus. I gotta be very precise with this thing, in fact. So we'll put you backwards like 5. No. Backwards like 20. That's not what I wanted. What is happening? Got it. That's the correct axis. We're going to want it right about here. So -10 should do. Perfect. Maybe even a little less than that, -9. Yeah, it'll be fine. What is up with the front of this boat? What have I done? I gotta fix that. That looks very strange. Okay. Let's get this thing big. I suppose theoretically I could join it like with struts instead of just intersecting. If that's the case, let's put a little bit of a tilt on this guy. Here's an idea. Here's an idea. Just a little bit of a tilt. So it drags through the water correctly. In fact, we'll do a little bit more. And we'll put it down in the water. Okay, I like that. Looks a little flimsy for me. Let's get this thing beefed up. Yeah, we're gonna have to do kind of a weird pitch to make this work, but, you know, what is this if not hard work? Let's get the dimensions correct. In fact, no, we're good. We can get out of edit now. I can do the dimensions myself. Let's see. I actually don't mind if it intersects as long as the circle part is intact. Is that even? It is. Just looks a little weird. Yeah, that should do. I'm gonna put like a little tail in the back here to sort of make it make more sense, because the design language is very strange right now. So we're gonna put a tail and it's gonna go way down in the water. But focus right now is this ring. And I think we can do it right like that. That's pretty close. Yeah, let's go for that. That'll work. That is weird looking, that's for sure. So, how do we want to do this? We want to go back to our boat. Let's name it correctly. And we want to properly bisect this thing. Right about there should be good. And I wonder if I can do like a reverse bevel. You must be able to. Okay, so yeah, definitely next course of action is these two need to be joined. And we're gonna do the arduous task of combining them. This might not have been the most interesting thing to start with, my apologies. Just figured we would try to get this thing done as quick as we could. All right, we're gonna use some really niche editing in here. This guy can merge with you. And officially, they are now conjoined. Let's give it a bunch of subdivisions. Probably not going to need all of them, but enough to work with. Okay, now I gotta mirror it. We gotta be very careful of mirroring. In fact, I should have just like re-mirrored this myself. But you live and you learn. How did I do that? Why did this one work, but that one didn't? hold on. You go to you. You go to you. You go to you. Something weird happened. This one goes out, one extra. This one goes out. Why does that merge, but these ones don't? That's very weird. Okay, well, we're back. Now, what do we want to do? Now things begin to get really complicated. I think first things first, let's grab both of these points, bring them up, and bring them out by using scale. Here we go. And now that I have it this far, I'm a little curious. What would happen? Let's make sure we save in case we absolutely botch everything. What would happen if I went into Sculpt mode? And I have loose parts here, so I will grab my mesh. We'll give it pretty generous sized remeshing. We'll say 800. Come on, there we go. Does that work? I think that just worked. Cool. And we're mirrored on the Y. Yeah, this works. Let's do this. I'm not sure why I need to worry too much about topology when I'm doing at least high-res images. Excuse me. That came up out of nowhere. Okay. So we're gonna worry about the inconsistent parts first, and then we'll come back around and do the actual shape. This is way easier. I've been doing it the hard way for a long time, haven't I? Okay, and doing this, I could kind of make the ring come up a little bit more. That'll make it look, I think, a little better. Right now, it kind of looks like a whale with their hands dragging behind their backs. Which is cute, but not what we're going for. So yeah, we'll just smooth this out a little bit. Just get it going. Really get these edges. A smooth edge is good for some wood. And this thing will definitely be made out of wood. All right. Yeah, sorry about that sneeze. You know, it's gotten a little cold. The dry air has been killing me, honestly. My my nose. My nose has always been kind of a hot point for my skincare. A little TMI for you guys. But my nose loves to break out. And this cold weather has not done me any favors. Okay, now I've made just a squishy mess of a boat, right? This is not much of a boat. So we're going to get in here and remesh a lot of this. So let's start by doing contrast. That's not what I want. That's also not what I want. Okay, we're going to start by blobbing, and then we'll do some contrast. Yeah. Check this. if we grab all of this, keep remeshing, and really bring all this out. Look at this. Kind of a weird growth. We'll fix the shape. That's for later. That's not our worry right now. Right now we want to make sure that it works as a ring. So can I swim through it? You can. I mean, it looks good. Cool. So we will go ahead and average a bunch of this. Get it really nice and smooth. Kind of want to make it look like a ring pop. There we go. I'm going to have to really work on the dimensions more if I ever use this as an actual model. But that's not the intention, right? We're trying to do things in an hour and a half. The intention is to learn more about Blender, not to make quality content in less than 2 months worth of practice. So I'm not sweating that detail. Cool. I'd say it looks pretty good. I'm going to make a nice little line using a reverse crease. In fact, let's do 2 of them, so that way there's like a channel for the creature to come in here. So we'll do like this. We're just going to follow this line right here. Okay. We're just gonna get it really nice and clean. Okay, that looks a little weird for me. Let's go ahead and cut up into here, especially at the back. Yeah, I could use more of like a ridge here, make it look like really straight. I'm not entirely sure how I want to go about doing that yet, so let's save that. What I think we really could do is flatten. That didn't work exactly how I expected it to. Why does that look so weird? Like, I just want it like flat, right? It just makes a butt. Like, that's... I didn't expect that's how flatten would work. If anything, that's more of a flattening brush right there. Okay, we'll take it. Now we give ourselves the difficult task. We're going to come up into this boat. So let's remesh it and really get going on here. In fact, I should probably be using something a little bit more, yeah, artificial. That looks about right to me. We're going to be really careful. Yeah, I figured that would happen. We want to be very careful of the bottom of this thing. So we'll do some averaging. That looks kind of terrible. It definitely does not look like a boat. What have we done? Okay. What's the thought process moving forward then? How do you sculpt artificial things, or are you just not supposed to sculpt them? That's probably exactly what it is. Let's give it like a really clean view and we'll just give it a shot. What a strange looking thing we've made. This is the risk of, you know, being vulnerable live on the internet while you learn a new craft. But I'm not ashamed of it. If it's terrible, let me know. Whatever. The real thing is, now I got to figure out how to clean this up. So let's figure out how we're going to do that. I actually have a really good idea. I have an amazing idea. I know how we're going to do this. I've got it. Yep, I know what we're doing. So, we got this bad boy. Let's decimate it. See what happens. Thinking a decimate, first off. Let's get into edit mode. Grab everything, mesh. Let's, no, faces, there we go. Tries to quads. Yep, that'll work. And then I'm gonna go in here and decimate. We're gonna see how bad we can get it. That doesn't even look bad at all. It like kept its shape and everything. 0.1? That's not bad at all. Okay, we got symmetry on the y-axis for the most part. Triangulating doesn't really help us. So let's do 1.5. That looks a little bit more symmetrical to me. Okay. Okay. We'll take it. I can remesh it if I have to, right? Who cares? So here's the idea. I'm gonna go up top of this thing. It's actually still really dense. Why is it so dense? Let's decimate it some more. Where are we at? Decimate. That should be roughly the same as what we had it before. So let's do like 0.3. Let's really get this thing small. What happens if we start going really, really small on this thing? 0.05. They're getting long. 0.01. Okay, we're at 1,600. It's a pretty small shape. I think I can work with this. We'll hit apply. We'll take it. Now we'll go into edit mode. Look at all that. So first things first, let's try to make quads using pretty big angles. Really kind of botched this thing. I wonder, is there a modifier for making it more symmetrical? I mean, mirror. That's a weird mirror. There we go. Now there's two directly on top of each other. And if I hit apply, how terrible is that going to mess our mesh up? There's meshes kind of going in and out of each other. Let's do 0.001. Let's really get these things merged together. It's merging a lot less than I thought it would. Not quite. This has certainly been a learning experience. Well, it is editable at this point. It's kind of tedious, so I think I might try to do a bit of this offline. I mean, it's just going to be so boring. This is not going to be interesting to watch, but I think I can do it. I'm going to keep the through lines going from here to the back, here to the back. So let's just move on to the next section. If it's the worst thing in the world, my apologies. But I think it's usable. We'll get there. All right, so we want to make the sails now, or not the sails, but the steering. And these are going to be in line with that little line here. So I'll use that as kind of my guide. And we're going up. Okay. They probably need to be a bit bigger. In fact, what am I doing? I want them to be as big as this. Let's make them really big. That's a good shape. Perfect. So we will grab this and we will also mirror it. We're mirroring relative to the boat. And let's get to editing these things. So let me see. Let's go online. Let's see what they look like. Let's see here. If anything, I can reference like a fishtail. That could do pretty well for us. Yeah, they all look like upside down shark fins. Okay, perfect. So it's going to start pretty close to the bottom. I guess it can start like up here. And what we want those two to merge. And we want these two to merge. And then we will grab you and you. We'll go perfectly to where the overlap is. That's not at all what I wanted. What? Why is beveling the world's hardest thing? Okay, well, if I bevel the face, we should have no problem. Kind of. Okay, well, I don't hate this. This isn't the worst shape I've ever seen. All right, we'll take it right to the edge there. And then I'll just merge those. Let's give it a few more sections. And then I think what I'm going to want to do is grab all of this and push it forward a little bit. Maybe just this part. Push it forward just a little bit and make sure we're doing proportional editing. That's relatively what they look like online. If I grab a few of these and I try to bring them together, this could work. There we go. Let's finish off by doing a little bit of this. We'll grab the face, we'll bevel the face. That didn't work at all how I wanted. Oh, we inset a face, my bad. Okay, well, that's fine. It doesn't want to work that way. So let's take this opportunity to put these two together. Where are we? Why did it separate the two? There we go. There's that. We'll grab all of these faces. The boat can get out of here for just a second. All right, and we'll bevel all of this down. Weird that you click clamp overlap and it just decides to keep going. Like clamp overlap, right? Now that's it. Don't overlap. What if instead of this, What would happen if we grabbed all of these edges? Right? All of these bad boys. Do I have a method of doing this? Edge. Let's see. That's strange. No, that is not what I wanted. Oh well. That doesn't want to work for us. I thought for sure you would be able to merge edges. Different way to do it. Oh, okay, now we're getting creative. Now we're getting really creative here. Check this out. You'll love this. If I grab these and I shrink them, we've theoretically done the exact same job, right? Yeah, totally. That works. And then if I also take them and add a bevel, oh, we've done it. We've done it. The shape's pretty important here. Perfect, that works. Okay, now we need the boat back. We need to make a couple of pulls. We'll start with the easiest one. Come on back. You need to be rotated. Just like that. You need to be made really small. And you'll connect everything. I sort of like the idea of it being a little low, like the ship's kind of broken up a little bit, which makes me start thinking I should figure out ways to weather everything, but we'll get there. Let's not freak out just yet. Okay, so if I grab this, we edit it just a little bit. We can put 2 of these. No, we don't want to do that. Put 2 of them. That doesn't do anything for us. Okay, we'll keep it all normal. Instead, let's scale them. There we go. And I learned a new operation today. We will grab the faces and we'll hit extrude along normals. Hey, look at that. Theoretically, if I grab all of this and I try to bevel it, it should work. Doesn't do nearly what I wanted it to do. So instead we'll bevel that. I should just stop beveling edges. It never wants to work. We'll clamp overlap, keep it max, and then we'll put a couple of sections in it. There we go. That will give us a little bit of a leverage arm to plug in another one. So we're going to want to go back to object mode. We're going to copy another one of these guys. This is where I would have liked to have the boat done because it would have made this way easier. But it's not the worst thing in the world. We'll go ahead and push this down. I think the lesson learned right now is I should be a little bit more weary of sculpting. I think sculpting is fine when you're confident, but I'm not 100% confident in anything. So you miss out a little bit when you start getting a little weird with it. This isn't going to be my favorite way to do this, but we're going to make this a very specific shape. In fact, I'm not even going to connect it to the boat yet, because clearly the boat needs some work. So instead, we're going to do this. Check this out. This is gonna look so good. We're going to grab all these faces. We're going to extrude along normals. Yes, that works. Come on, bevel and edge. Let's do it. Oh, it worked. Finally, it works. Make a nice little curved thing here. And then what I want to do is I want to throw some holes in here and put screws inside of them. But looking at our time, let's not do that. So instead, what I think we might want to do... this one's complicated. Very complicated. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Okay. How we want to do this? I suppose I'll go into object mode and just make a new object. Let's do it that way. And then I can just join them together. No problem. So we'll grab our friendly Taurus. Got to make sure I do this one correctly. Needs to be pretty small. What does that look like? Is that about the right size? Oh, it's huge. Look at that. That is way too big. Let's see. That looks about right to me. Let's line up this angle right here. There we go. And the piece de resistance. We're going to get in here, grab it. We're going to cut out a few faces. Probably more than that. Should this do? Oh, don't do that. That looks perfect. That'll do. Yeah, okay, so we'll grab... Okay, I gotta be very careful. I don't want to mess this one up. We'll grab all of these. And we're going to merge at center. We're gonna do the exact same thing over here. And if ever there was an opportunity where I thought I could try out a vertex bevel, it would be here. Come on, quit freaking out. All right. We'll grab both of these and we'll give them a shot. Oh, excellent. Yes, exactly what we want. Five. Four. Four should be fine. I actually have an idea before we do that. I don't want to do that yet. Instead, I want to grab all of these edges and all of these edges. And let's shrink them down. Let's shrink them like way down, and we're going to turn on proportional. Whoa. That was a little more than I wanted. That's actually a really nice shape right there. I could make like a cool little thing out of this actually, now that I'm looking at it. Sure, we'll go for it. Why not? We will go for it. So let's start by grabbing you and you. Deleting our vertices. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of the boat because it's like killing our zooms. I make kind of a weird exotic shape here. Okay, there's that as a face. All right, and we're just continuing on. I probably could have just alt-clicked all this. My bad. You live, you learn, you know? That's life. And we'll go ahead and do this. And we'll do this. And then we'll get going on it. How do we want to do this? There's that. Merge at center. Let's grab all of this, all of that. We're going to make them much smaller, but we're not going to use proportional editing. Oh, look at that. Look how cool that looks. Okay, now we got to be very precise with how we do this. I have moved it 0.0175. Let's copy. Negative 0.0175. And then we'll grab this little horn. It'll be right there. So the z-axis is going to be 0.015. Y is 0.02. 0.1502. So negative 0.02. And then the same 0.015. Hey, look at that. Look at this little shape we've made. Looks good. So we'll just do ourselves a quick little favor and we'll name everything. We'll call this like holder. This guy is going to be holder stand. This is axle. I know an axle is technically something different, but I just need to know what I'm talking about really quick. And this one is going to be steering. So holder stand, let's work on you. You need to be smaller. Bada boom. We got kind of a junky angle right there. Let's work on that real quick. So I'm going to grab you, and I'm going to grab you, and we're going to make you just a little bit smaller. And then we'll scoot you both out. Smaller and out. That's too much. This could work. Oh, it didn't capture. Why didn't it do that? Oh, something weird happened. This one worked, this one didn't. Why not? Okay, so it's equal here. We'll just really quickly solve this problem. There we go. Now we can try and do it one more time. Let's see. Okay, yep, that is not how we want to be doing this. If anything, we just want to move them up a little bit and then just shrink them down a little bit. Scoot them down just a little bit. It'll do for now. It's actually like a very interesting shape. I love it. It's so demonic, but like functional. So lastly, we need to make the final pole. I should be making this out of separate pieces, but I won't yet. We can always add a piece later if we had to, or whatever. So you need to be real, nope, real tiny. And you need to be real long. And we're gonna curve you on this axis. Actually needs to be even smaller than that. So let's redo it. In fact, let's redo it on top of here so I can see exactly what I'm doing. Come on. That looks about right. Maybe just a little bit smaller. Let's see what that does for us. It's perfect. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, it's so perfect. Cool. We're gonna get in there. We're gonna do one of these. And it needs to be longer. Right about there is too long. That looks pretty long to me. That is very long. It fits just about perfect, though. Okay, bring the boat in. It's not terrible, but yeah, I want to edit it. It's too long for me. Right about there is fine. Get rid of the boat. We'll go into X-ray. We will grab all of these faces and that. And we'll get rid of you. Go back into normal view. Yeah, so I can just raise these up and change the angle, and we shouldn't really have a problem. Now, what I should do is grab this guy. We'll join these. Did one of them not join? No, it did. Excuse me. Thank goodness for the cold weather, but man, I should actually probably put on a little bit more clothing. All right, we will go ahead and finish the last little bit of this. I see our time is running out, which is all par for the course. We'll grab all of that. And we will extrude along normals. Just a little bit. And then we will join all of these together. And I'll try and bevel it. That's not what I want. That's not at all what I want. Instead, let's do another cut pretty high up. And we'll grab all of these guys. And you. And then we'll bevel that. Nope, doesn't want to work. Why does beveling never work the way that you want it to? I will never for the life of me understand how beveling works. Like, I just want it to go out, right? Different idea. New idea. You ready? Actually, completely new idea. There we go. Now let's bevel it. Nope, still nothing. Weird. Very weird. Like, you think I click this, right? And it should just, like, do it? But it never wants to. Here's a thought for you. I just accidentally did it, but we'll do it again. We'll grab all of you and all of you, and then we'll try it. And again, nothing. Weird. Okay. Oh well, I'll come back to this. I say that, and then I'm obsessed. It's kind of bad. Let's not do that. Anyway, we've made a handle. We've done a lot. You look at this, and I'm like, this looks pretty solid. Right, this could use some more polygons. And this guy needs to be cleaned to some degree. In fact, I'll do it right now. We'll clean it up real quick. There we go. But we've made something interesting, right? We've at least made a bunch of interesting stuff that works as a boat. And then we made the boat. Oh, the boat. So yeah. It's a work in progress. And then the ocean floor. So we'll get back to all this. So tomorrow I'm just going to continue it, right? This is how much we've done today. Normally I wouldn't want to redo anything, but I think redoing the boat is necessary. Like I said, I'm probably going to do it offline. We'll see. We'll see how much time we have. But yeah, we're just going to take it one step by one step. The things I need to add is I want to add a little perch. There's going to be a little male bird that comes in and delivers letters. And they'll be on this little perch. We need to add the fishing rod and the little loop that the fishing rod sits in. And then the water and hopefully animate it. And then the boat. So that shouldn't be too much for 2 more streams. We'll see. What's coming up next is I'm going to play some Hyperlight Drifter. For anybody curious about Genshin, I played a little bit of Genshin on stream earlier this week. It was kind of a train wreck, and honestly, I don't know if it's like the most streamable game. So, like, it's a beautiful game, it's an interesting game, but it's just not for me. So, we're gonna call it on Genshin for a little bit. If I level offline and I find new interest in the game or the dialogue settles down a little bit, we'll play some more. But for now, this is going to be our current project file that we will continue tomorrow. I'm going to take a little break and I'll be back with some Hyperlight Drifter. Peace.